Well, good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome y'all to the Tuesday, February 10th meeting of the Denton County Commissioners Court. I appreciate all of y'all being in attendance, and those of y'all who are tuning in, thank you for spending your morning with us. I have some sad news to deliver this morning. One of our community leaders here in Denton County, a wonderful public service servant, former mayor of Louisville, Ann Paul McCall, passed away this morning after a brief illness. And I had the privilege of growing up in Louisville and knowing Mayor Paul McCall as a family friend. And she was devoted to public service, devoted to good government. And the Commissioners Court several years ago appointed her to our appraisal district board. You know, when you need just a wise person to come in and do the right thing. And Paul McCall was one of those people that we called upon to continue her public service even later in her life. And I'd like to hand it off to Commissioner Mitchell. Do you want to say anything? She and Commissioner Mitchell were dear friends. I surprised you. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to say too much, Judge, but yes, Ann Pomacall was one of the first women mayor of Louisville, in my opinion, the best. And to know Ann Pomacall was to love her.
Yes.
The family, we grew up, her boys and my children grew up together, and it's a sad loss. She worked for TI for many years, and she was always a rock star. No matter what she did, she was a rock star. And she was a friend to many. Grew up here in Denton, actually. Had a brother here in Denton. And one of the great person in Louisville that shaped a lot of people's life in Louisville. Wasn't anything too hard for her to do. There was nothing too low for her to do. She worked, she got in City Hall, and she cleaned, and she did whatever her hands found to do. She was just a great lady, and I'm certainly going to miss her. During my illness, she was there for me, and I thank the Lord for having her in my life.
She was a role model to many women and men as well. So anyway, we're sad about that this morning. We'll have a moment of, Julie, if you'll come forward, Julie Haddock's going to come lead our invocation, and then Zach Davis from Agri will do our extension. But we'll have a moment of silence in honor of Mayor Ann Paul McCall, and then we'll do the invocation.
Our Heavenly Father, today we express our gratitude for the leaders in our community who are required to make tough decisions. It is a heavy responsibility that must be honored with humility, kindness, and grace. We ask that you provide them wisdom and guidance in the dynamic storms of public opinion, and that you keep them safe from harm. We pray as we go into an election season that your will be done, and who you have called to these positions has favor.
Yes.
We pray that whoever holds earthly seats of power always seeks first to please you, Lord. Thank you for all of the employees at Denton County and those others who serve our community so tirelessly. We are grateful for their servant hearts and minds and their dedication to helping others. We pray that they know you, that they are seen and loved by you every day and in every situation. We pray that we feel your presence, your comfort, and your peace. We pray for your hope, a strong and trustworthy anchor for our souls. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
You'll join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay. Thank you, Julie, and thank you, Zach. All right, Teresa, we have no one registered for public comments. Is that correct? Okay, so we'll proceed. Let's go to Item 3B. 3B is approval of a proclamation recognizing February the 10th, 2026 as Texas Food Connection Day in Denton County. We have Tommy Calvert here. Good morning. It's good to see you twice in the morning. We had breakfast together over at the Cartwrights on the Square. I always look forward to that. It's a lot of
We appreciate
it's a
you
lot
being
of
there,
fun.
Judge.
Absolutely. If you'll go ahead, and I know you've got some things to talk
Well,
about, and I want to
first-
show some fun pictures.
Yeah, we'll show you some pictures of the food I was going to tell you all about. During this period of time from January till now, the local county 4-H and FFA chapters from the high schools throughout the county, we have what's a food drive. And these youngsters, young people out there collecting food from all sources and from cities, from Argyle, from Denton, from Pilot Point, from Sanger, all over. And this year, it looks like we're going to probably exceed about 2,500 pounds of food.
Great.
And all this food will go to the Denton Area Food Bank over here to support them. They've done this every year. We usually average about 1,000 pounds, but this year, they probably exceeded themselves. That trailer's full of food, water, lots of great things. So we appreciate immensely the support from our local 4-H clubs and parents behind those children, FFA chapters, and those ag teachers that out there with us. As usually, I say it's a great honor and a privilege to be with you all today. I appreciate this opportunity to be here and recognize this situation and opportunity. And I want to take this time to thank Judge Eads because he signed us up on the 23-24 drought assistance with that flooding
Yes.
and with that wildfire, which we wouldn't have gotten had he not signed that. And for on behalf of all the farmers and ranchers in Denton County, I want to say thank you.
Yes, sir.
Because that helped a lot of us, because during that period, we were having to feed cattle in the middle of summer, which we don't normally do because we
Right.
have grass, but we didn't have any. So thank you, Judge, for signing us up on that and allowing
Yes,
us as farmers and ranchers to get a little help. You know, every little bit of help today is appreciated because, as we know, our farmers and ranchers are under some really tough times today. Our commodity prices are low, cattle prices are pretty good, but that's only because of that drought and because of the lack of cattle being able to come in to the process. You know, when Americans walk through the grocery store, they see aisles filled with choices. What they don't always see is the work behind the
Right.
product. Farmers grow the grains that become bread and cereal, the fruits and the vegetables that fill the produce sections, and the proteins that anchor meals around kitchen tables. We raise dairy cows, tend orchards, plant vegetable fields, and steward the land so that we can keep producing for generations. So a very important thing that our local county farmers and ranchers do. We know the growth situation in our county, but however, there are those of us that are generational, that are hanging on out there to still produce this food and fiber that we all require in our daily lives. And thank you again to these children for the great work they did, and thank you for the opportunity to be here today with you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate all that the Farm Bureau does and our agri-life and the producers,
Absolutely.
large and small. And I think it's important to realize, and every time I get a report that the Commissioners Court receives about the economic impact and the vitality of our agriculture industry here in Denton County, you know, we see so many subdivisions and shopping centers and highways and byways, but I mean, we still are an agricultural county in many ways, and so we want to keep that
We
vitality.
couldn't do it without these great folks from AgriLife Extension.
Absolutely.
We
Let's have them
appreciate-
stand up. I want to give them a big
we
hand. Y'all
appreciate
stand
y'all's
up this
support in
morning.
the county through with these people.
Let's give them a
because
big hand.
They do a tremendous job. I'm telling you, they support our people in our county through lots of different efforts, and it shows. Like I said, this 4-H thing is huge today. So yes, we couldn't do it without AgriLife. Thank y'all for supporting them.
All right, well, I'm going to read this proclamation here for us, and this is a court proclamation recognizing Texas Food Connection Day. Whereas it is important that Americans have access to and consume healthful foods containing adequate vitamins, minerals, fiber, and other nutrients, even during challenging economic times. Whereas farmers and ranchers are unmatched in their ability to consistently produce an abundance of safe, nutritious, and affordable food. And whereas producers confront significant uncertainties, including inclement weather, damaging insects, and other challenges daily. And whereas Denton County and Texas farmers, ranchers, and others involved in the agricultural industry are working together in an environmentally sustainable way to help feed people here in Texas, across our nation, and in other countries around the world. And now therefore be it resolved that the Denton County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim February the 10th, 2026 as Texas Food Connection Day, and call upon all Americans to join us in recognizing and reflecting upon the strength of our diverse agricultural industry and in celebrating the benefits of agriculture with appropriate observances and activities. Done in open court, this is the 10th day of February 2026 upon a motion by the chair, second by Commissioner Ebbetson. Well, Tommy, thank you for everything that y'all do,
Thank you,
and
Judge.
again, our Agri-Life Department, and even more importantly is our producers who are
Absolutely.
still out there producing, and so we appreciate
I want
them.
to add about this New World screwworm thing that we have going on that's in New Mexico now, that we're going to be very vigilant about that, because not only will it affect us producers with agriculture, with livestock, horses, equine, but it also will affect our wildlife and even our pets, because if that comes again, I was a boy when we had it before, and I'm going to tell you, it was one of the worst things I ever remember in my life, seeing those animals that were affected by that. So thank you to our Texas Department of Agriculture,
Yeah.
our governor, and our USDA for trying to get this thing under control before it gets back here, because it could devastate our wildlife in Texas and our cattle people. So wanted to mention that. So
Yeah.
be vigilant about that, and we need to keep an eye and make sure that thing stays where it needs to be, south of us.
All right, out of here.
Yeah, out of here. That's right.
Out of here. All right, here, any other comments? All right, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations,
All
thank
right,
you.
thank you.
I can.
All right, 1, 2, and 3. Perfect.
What's that? I know. Okay. Let's go to item 13C. 13C is a presentation of the design development phase for the Civil Courts building as prepared by Helmuth, Obata, and Kassenbaum, HOK, and authorize HOK to proceed forward with the construction development phase in any appropriate action. And I know we've done a lot of work on this to get this ready. And Commissioner Falker, would you want to introduce Carlos? And we
Absolutely.
have Tammy here if there's other questions, but go right ahead.
Thank you, Judge. So, court and the public, we're excited that we're here we've essentially finished the design development phase, and so Carlos Guerra from HOK is here to present that, and Tammy Crooks from Byrne Construction, who is our construction manager assigned to this project, are here. And we're excited about the progress that we've made on this project. It's going well. Carlos will go through the presentation, but you should have the cost estimate summary and the schedule also. Just so you know, I mean, there are still things that we are working on with the cost estimate with Byrne. You'll see that the estimate has grown just a little bit. We are still analyzing and working on that. It is I think still very much in that budget area that we've been looking toward. But we aren't, we're always looking at those dollars to make sure that we're spending the dollars of our taxpayers in the very best way. The schedule is, if you do happen to remember from the SD presentation, is still essentially the same. We are, just as we're kind of coming up on the finishing up construction documents, getting those things out for the final GMP with Byrne, that it's likely that we'll see a little bit of a couple of weeks or so of addition to that time frame, but we're essentially still on the same schedule that we've been on. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Carlos, and he can walk you through the latest plans and a couple of renderings.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, everybody. My name is Carlos Guerra. I'm with HOK, Justice Planner. It's always a delight to be here. We've been doing a lot of work with the county, with the board and everybody. As the Commissioner has mentioned, we worked very, very closely to make the best of the dollars that are being spent. And with that, I think we're very excited to be part of that. With that, what I'm going to try to do, just kind of walk you through it very briefly, starting with the site. One of the things that I'd like to mention, I think the use of this building has been a tremendous opportunity. Just by looking at it, I mean, this building has, the way it's located, I know it was meant for something else, and we're turning it into what it is, what it's going to be. But just by the character of the building, has a lot of merit to the use for the courts. So I think one of the great things about it is that there's a lot of square footage, and so there's a lot of square footage needed for the future of the county, the courts, and all the spaces that are needed. The site is, you've probably seen it, is about 10 minutes away from here, and it's very available to the city, to the county. Kind of looking on the narrow down of the site, there are two main components. One is the big lot of the parking that is on the, I'm going to call it kind of the plant north in this plan, and also the small piece of the parking on the plant south. The way it was originally set up for the previous owner, that was mostly for the staff on the north, and there was plenty of parking. We're getting close to 800 spaces, which is a great amount of parking that is going to be needed. The previous owner had a small parking that was for a small amount of visitors. One of the things that we have this just as an opportunity, that is the perfect amount that we need for a secure parking. Judges and selected officials are needed to have a secure parking as they come into the building. So this was really a good opportunity to do that. We're going to have a private surrounding about it, so all that stays secure and private, and the big lot becomes open to the public and staff. So again, without too much investment on reworking too much of the parking or adding parking, other than just reworking the entrance, he's going to help us really do what it needs to be done.
And Carlos, if I'll just interject here, Court, you all have seen the building, and just remember, and then for the public's benefit, that that employee park or entrance, which we'll be using for our public entrance, is on what we call the first level. It's a 5-story building. It's on the first level. There is a grade to this lot and this site, and so the blue arrow the blue arrows are the secure entries. Those are actually on the second level because the slope goes up that much there. So they're on 2 different levels.
That's correct.
Which works fine for a secure entry.
Absolutely. I think the green arrow is showing the new location of the public entrance. That one is and I'll walk you through the different levels. The ground level is going to be for the kind of the drag of the majority of the people as they're coming to the jury assembly. Also, there's several amenities there. We have the community rooms that is going to be also very well utilized for the county. And also the cafeteria that is not only going to serve people in the building, but also anybody that wants to come in and really utilize that service is going to be available for everybody. So it's going to be very helpful, especially that we got the jury assembly. That always tends to be a need.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very convenient. So all that drag of the amount of people coming into that ground level, that's the reason why that is also selected. Yeah, just kind of reiterating, there's two entrances. The building has two main wings, and you will see here in a minute that with the way we divided the floors is three different main components. I'm going to say four if we talk about the jury assembly, which is set up for that ground level. The second level is going to be for the county clerks. The third level is for district clerks. The fourth level is going to be for the district attorney. And the fifth level is basically, we try to keep that as intact as possible because, as you know, the counties keep on growing. So we wanted to make sure and utilize those first four levels to the max to keep the county to current and the few next year's growth. And then for the next set of future master planning, the fifth floor will still maintain as a buffer to continue growth for the county.
And allows us to use it in the interim, too.
In the interim?
Which can be quite a while, because we'll have a good amount of space in this building with our, we have several hearing rooms that you'll see that are not going to be used immediately. So it's got a lot of growth even in those first four floors. Good.
Just starting with the ground level at the public entrance, one of the things that we had to do is make sure that it's all compliant with ADA. Some of the slopes that we found out that needed to be really reworked and make sure that we had the proper counts for handicap accessibility. So all that needed to be, to be refreshed and make sure that it's all compliant. The other thing that we see here on the site is going to have a more pronounced entrance for the amount of people that are coming into the entry. And then one of the things that we try to utilize is that patio that is going to be kind of part of that cafeteria. It's still going to be secured, but it's still available to the public and everybody who's going to be using it. On the Plan South, here's is basically the same profile of the existing parking, but it's now going to be surrounded with a privacy screen throughout. It's a solid screen, so it keeps it private. But that also, we had to add just a few parking spots to keep the count adequate for the new use and secured. Since we have two wings, we're providing two main entrances. One entrance is located here is for the wing on the left side, and that's going to serve all the judges and people that are coming to this area of the site, and keep the public away from those entrances. We try to keep the circulation kind of separate. That way there's no crossing between staff, judges, and the public. That was always kind of private.
The two entries allow the judges to not have to cross over any public areas for their security, so they can enter and then go up an elevator on either side.
And I think we've done I think this parking lot is an ideal
Yep.
configuration, as you said, Carlos, exactly the head count that we need to make sure that we're adding additional security for the judiciary, adding additional entrances, and an elevator dedicated for a secure accessibility
Please. Yep.
in and out of the building, dedicated for them. So I think that's great. We appreciate all those attention to details we've all worked through.
Absolutely. And I think we did work really this on many iterations. It was the most sense to add this elevator on this on the right wing, because it really solved a lot of the issues
Yeah.
on circulation. Just kind of walking a quick summary. Every level is going to have it's almost a mirror. We have about three courtrooms on each one of the levels, starting from 2, 3, and 4, and then we had hearing rooms that is going to help expedite some of the I guess hearings that need to happen.
And for associate judges, yes.
So for the associate judges. We do have, in summary, main level 1 is where the jury assembly is. Well, of course, public entrance, main lobby. It's the security checkpoint. So anybody coming into the building is going to be going through the screening process. Then from there, you go through the lobby, access to the main elevators up to all the floors.
Carlos, why don't you go ahead and go to that level 1, so, yeah, because you
There you
can't really see much on that plan.
Here's on the plant north, we're utilizing the same vestibule. We had the lobby kind of really accommodated. We really make it work. There was a staircase in there that we had to really trade it off for the space that it was required for this main lobby. You will see a rendering here at the end of the conversation.
It also was a security issue because you couldn't have people, you would have been able, we would have had to block it off anyway, so having it there didn't make sense.
Right. We look at many studies to try to see if we could save it, but I think at the end, this is going to be the best scenario. We still wanted to maintain a good line of sight for the officers and everybody who's coming in and out. That's so important to maintain throughout, and especially where there's a lot of traffic coming in and out of the building. There is a separate entrance dedicated for the community rooms. That's going to be available for other kinds of events that the county might use. And there's also a multi-purpose room and a large conference room. All that is kind of served by a separate entrance, and it's kind of almost contained. It's got its own set of restrooms as well.
Just to be clear, the community rooms, so during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, 7 to 6, whatever, they're secure. The entire building is secure, and that other entry will be utilized for non-business hour times, so that you only have access to that space. So the rest of the area is very locked down. So you would not have any way to get anywhere else other than those community rooms during the non-business hours.
Commissioner, may I ask you a question?
Sure.
You're using the term community room, and we all have community rooms in our various courthouses. Would this be a room then that the public could use for meetings
Yes.
and that kind of thing?
Yeah, and it's actually 3 rooms. There's the large room you see with the round tables in it that is in very close, it's different configuration, but close to the size of the 2020 room here.
Okay.
So a very nice sized room, and then there's 2 smaller rooms that are still nice sized
They're in
rooms
the
that
yellow.
are all part of that.
Diane, see?
Yes, thank you.
And by the way, so this area has its own set of restrooms. So when it's when it's outside of business hours, you have its own set of restrooms. So you're not
Self-contained.
Yeah, it's all self-contained. It's a good way to put it, so that you aren't wandering all over the secure building.
The security of the overall campus, all the way from the parking lots to the interior of the building, was obviously a priority for the judiciary and for us as well as a work group on the committee. And so I think we've done a great job of mitigating risk inside and outside the building. But I'll tell you, putting public meeting space in our buildings is important. It's important practice that the court has done in all of our buildings that we've created. Most recently, we had a state agency reach out to us needing to convene a meeting up here of stakeholders and the public, and asking for utilize our county buildings. And it was during early voting, in all of our buildings, any space that is And that happens many times throughout the year. And so all the available space is occupied, you know, and so creating these opportunities, is an important that it's not just the employees and the officials that are at these buildings, but that the public has an accessibility to them as well.
That's right. Go ahead, Carlos.
One of the things that I wanted to convey, many times, you know, people have to be having to come in for jury duty. That was one of the things that we worked around trying to where to best locate this room. It's a large room, so it's kind of difficult to try to have a good place within a already built space with its own kind of sort of structured, and with areas that we had to respect, such as like mechanical rooms and things like that that were already would have been too expensive to move around. But regardless, what we did is, as you're coming into the entry, just straight ahead, people are going to be led to a check-in area for easy access to this jury assembly room. Then from there, they're kind of lead towards continue down the hall to get to that really spacious room where jury assembly was going to be taking place.
The key is, it's one of the things we learned, obviously, from our current courts building, is that the jury assembly is not on the public entry level. So it puts a lot of stress on our elevators when you have hundreds of people coming at approximately the same time. And so we wanted the public entry and the jury assembly to be on the same level, which we accomplished with that.
Absolutely. There's a few amenities there. We reserved an area for, you know, they had to kind of like charge their phones, make a call, you know, have access to a quick vending machine. But that's in addition to the fact that they actually are going to be having access to the cafeteria, which is on the same level. That will keep the load out of the elevators as well. One of the things, features to this is the fact that we have restrooms really available, really dedicated for that room. That way people are not wandering away from it. So it's really what they're being called wherever they're really on the same area. Also, the actual jury assembly services staff is really located within the same adjacency of that room. They have a kind of like a service window if they need to talk to anybody next to that. So all that works really perfect as far as how keeping everybody from moving to other areas to try to, you know, handle some of those businesses. Also, this floor has the kind of be the area for the security suite for the officers and the monitoring for all the surveillance.
And just so we know, this is a civil courthouse, but there are still, the sheriff will still be handling some folks who are coming from the jail. So all of that's on the left side of that is the loading area and dock, which is essentially it's not secured technically from a security standpoint, but it's private, if you will. So all of those folks will come in right there, right into that sheriff's area where they stage them before they go up to the courtrooms.
Absolutely. I think the fact is, I mean, this is not like an everyday thing that happens every day,
Right.
But it's a need. And for those cases when it's needed, you have a private location. You go through we're going to have there's a gate area, so when they come in, it's all enclosed. I mean, it's out of the public site, and they have an access to the back. And that strategically is the location for that security suite. So they are aware of what's going on within that back entrance. As we're coming in for the next level, you begin to see kind of the layout of what the floors are going to be like. Just to kind of touch base on the legend, what you see as the yellow color, it's basically where all the public kind of touches the area without having to go through any type of access controlled set of doors. From there, it kind of mingles through some of the areas that they need to get to, but in essence, it's all maintained within the center core of the building, on the main center of the two wings. We try to really strategically place those courtrooms so the entrance to those are from that main public area. Each one of those courtrooms will have dedicated meeting rooms, really on the, right from the entrance of the vestibule, or what we call it the sound lock that leads you to the courtroom. But in addition to that, we were able to allocate additional meeting rooms, which are highly needed for upcoming cases or things that the attorneys, people who need to meet, do any settlements, things like that, without bothering the internal meeting rooms that could be used during a court session. So all those are available right within the premises of that public area. Also, the other thing that you're going to begin to see, every courtroom has a dedicated suite for the judges' chambers. One of the things distinct about this floor from the others, this is the one that's going to have the, what we call it, the
Probate
courtrooms. So the two courtrooms here on the left side, they have their probate courtrooms, judges' suites, which have a little bit more staff than the typical courtroom, so they require a little bit more office space. So as you see the other ones, they become a little bit more compact. But regardless, there is the two courtrooms here with the dedicated judges' chambers on that. Each one of those courtrooms also have a jury deliberation room, which is this area room in purple. It has a reasonable size room for the amount of people that is going to held. Many places that jury room becomes pretty tight, so we wanted to make sure that we have plenty of space for that, also accessible for their own toilet and a coffee bar. So when they're under that stress, I mean, they have a good place to do the deliberation. Each one of the wings have a small, what I call it, a break room. That keeps the staff from wandering through other areas of the building if they need to just have a quick break. So that's what you see here on the left wing. There's a small little break area for the staff that is serving kind of this side of the wing. The same thing on the right side. There is a small little staff area here that serves the right side of the wing. What you see here is a kind of like burnt orange. That is the county clerks that is serving probate courts for this building. It has a small dedicated, what we call a sub-lobby. What that does, it kind of keeps that, it's a transitional set for people or public that are coming in and need to go and do that service window. They're not within the noise of the main lobby, so that's why it has that little small sub-lobby. Walking up to the next level.
Oh, can you go back to
Yep.
there, just to clarify? So the way it's designed at this point is that the probate courts would reside on that left wing, the north wing, whatever we want to call it. That's where, and we have, as you all know, we already have an associate judge, Judge Nolter. So there is that one hearing room, associate courtroom, whichever you like. They're basically small. It's a courtroom without a jury box, and so they will reside on that left wing, and then there would be a district court on that right side you see the courtroom on that side, and then there are two additional hearing rooms on that side as well, which could ultimately be a probate court associate judge or a district court judge. And we have, remind me how many total hearing rooms we have, Carlos?
We do, on the upper levels, we will have additional 2 per level.
Yeah, so
We have
we've got 7, right? 7 hearing rooms. We are not planning to, because we don't need 7 associate courtrooms. So we plan to, they'll be finished out they can be used as another conference room or something like that. But we will not put all of the millwork in for the judges' benches and all of that kind of thing initially until we'll still have some expansion that's ready to go, but we can add that when it's needed, and it gives us some flexibility.
Absolutely. I think that is the real strategy here. These rooms can still be utilized right now for for those conference rooms that needs to be happening. There's different things that need to be happening and don't have to be on a hearing setup. However, they are laid out and they are in the position located, so if the need is for a constant hearing room, we can just fully develop those.
Yep.
There will be infrastructure being already in place so that can be accommodated.
Okay, thanks.
Moving on to level 3, as you can see, it's very similar layout. You still have the 2 wings. You still have that center core for the public that mingles to either side. You still have those courtrooms with the frontage entrance to that public side. It was a challenge, but we wanted to still maintain a gateway to those hearing rooms. The hearing rooms are kind of located kind of in the center core of each one of the wings. So the trick for that is that they need to be secure, accessible for the associate judges from one side, but also accessible to the public from the public side. So by utilizing that corridor that you see here in yellow, that gives them that access, which is also part of the corridor that is on the means of egress. In case of an emergency, those corridors are leading towards the main stairs that lead down to the ground levels exiting out of the building. This floor, instead of the county clerks, it is the district clerks. It's a larger little suite that you see taking over on this right side of the plan. It's got all the exhibit storage, all the clerks' space, and the private offices surrounding that space. Also, similar to the county clerks, it also has its dedicated sub-lobby for the same reason. You're coming in, you have business to do there, you're stepping away from the main lobby, and the noise is gonna settle. Moving on to the 4th level, right here. It's almost the identical layout of level 3, with the exception of now the district clerks is turning to the district attorney's office. The need for that suite is mostly private offices, so that's what you see here, less of the open workstations and more of the actual private offices to that. It also has an entrance from the public side. It is not as pronounced as the other county and district clerks, but still it is available from the public side to be able to inquire any business there. The other entity on this floor is the public library, which is located here.
Law library.
Law library?
It is public, but it's not a public library like some people might think. It's a law library.
Law library, sorry. And also the attorney's lounge, which is located here.
Can you point out the law library and the lounge, the attorney's lounge? It's on that,
Yeah,
it's
right
in that little semicircular area there.
The semicircular area is the
lounge.
is the attorney's lounge.
Yeah. And then right above
next
it
to
is
that's the law library. Same components. One thing that I hadn't mentioned is the actual public stair that is located right off that main public lobby that connects all the floors. That will keep the load out of the elevators. I mean, the elevators are going to be available for public all throughout the floors. However, having a really visual, clear staircase that moves around the buildings, that allows people to, hey, you don't have to wait for the elevator. You can just go up one level or one level below using the stair, which is also a means of egress. And lastly, going to level 5, the only things that you see in different colors are the areas that we had to touch just to bring it up to code and workability
And for the
within all
elevator.
floors. But everything else was kept intact. It is actually already furnished and it's already left as is. The county will have a lot of flexibility to how to use it until it comes the time to have a really full expandable, maybe courts or things like that.
And court members, just so you know, we took a recent tour of the building when we kind of accepted it, because Sally has now moved to their new offices, and we were able to take a kind of in-depth look at the furniture and including the systems furniture and the modular furniture, all in extremely good condition, and it's going to save us a lot of money on the furnishing side of this because it's just in really good condition, and so we'll be able to reuse both the systems furniture where you see and much of the office furniture.
Then from here, just gonna highlight quick renderings that start looking what we may be looking at here during the development of the building. This is the view of the main lobby as you're coming in from the vestibule. Some of the inspiration of the finishes is taken a lot from this building that we're sitting in right now. It's got a lot of flavor to that. It's trying to be fresh in terms of the look and still maintain some warmth, you know, by the use of that wood, very similar to what you see here. This is the main area where the screening is happening. It needed to kind of give you a feel of, you know, invitation without taking away some of that harshness of being a security screening. So even though the process of screening is still happening, we try to do it in such a calm down, that way the stress level is pretty well accepted. This is also the same way the gateway to leaving out the building. As you can see, the line of sight is pretty clear. Officers are there, they can see everything what's going on. This is another view from the opposite side.
This is from the secure side.
This is from the secure side. You have, in this case, you have 2 magnetometers. I think it's still to be discussed whether or not we're going to need the 2, but it's still it's going to be infrastructure for 2 magnetometers. What you see here in the center is kind of like a millwork island that is kind of where the officers are seen behind it. That will allow them to really feel, you know, kind of behind that secure kind of that area where they're sitting on. On the right side is where the staff entrance is. So the staff will continue to come in. They'll have a secure badge to come in, so that will allow them to come into the building. And then next to that is kind of the exit path. The exit path is via 2 sets of gates, and they are only dedicated for exiting. So in no fashion nobody's going to be coming into that direction. So the idea here is intuitively, you know where to go when you come in, if you're public coming into the building, and where you go when you exit in the building. Here's kind of the idea of the courtroom. One of the things that we talked about since the beginning was going to be height of the ceilings. Terminally, sometimes we think about a courtroom having really vaulted higher ceilings, and that was part of the conversation. It does not require to be a really tall ceiling, but in any case, we try to make it still feel like it's a spacious. We still want to feel that it has its dignity of the courtroom, and we still want to use, in this case, we utilize the plenty of natural light that we had, but still maintain privacy by using you know, shading devices that actually keep that privacy intact.
It's a dual shade, so the judges will have a lot of control over that light. But we think the natural light's actually a good thing, and in all but one instance, that's on an upper floor. So we do have the one instance where it's actually on ground level, which is the probate court, but it's looking out into secure space. So it's on that judge's parking area, secure area. So we feel really good about this, not a security concern, having windows there.
Absolutely. And with that also, one of the things that I would say, let's say not having a higher ceiling, one to our advantage is actually provides a better acoustics. So this room, by the looks, it really has a really good feel for for what it is. It does have a good balance of acoustic walls. We have a good balance of natural light, and the details of wood throughout are really shine for a courtroom. We're still fine-tuning a few things here to make sure that we're really getting to the right direction, but this really starts giving you the sense of where we're heading. Here's another example of what the typical hearing room is going to be. On this one, of course, it's in the center core of the different wings, so it has no natural light. However, it still has really used the lighting components to still make it feel what it needs to be for a hearing room. And I think with that, this kind of narrows down the presentation where we're up to date. I think we're coming up here in the next couple of weeks for our 60% CDs, which we're really hearing towards the completion of the documents pretty soon.
Thank you so much, Carlos. I don't know if court has any questions.
Members, do you have any questions of where we're at this place? Well, I want to thank you for you and your team and your professionalism. And Commissioner Falconer, I want to thank you for all your time working on this, as well as Jody and Holly and Dale, and I'm leaving people out. You know, all the different disciplines that are involved in planning a space like this. We've done consultations with the sheriff's office and obviously our judges and our users, the clerks. You know, everybody has had an abundance of opportunity to provide important input to impact the building appropriately. And so I think this is anyway, I'm very pleased about it. It's going to be very functional. We're doing it in a cost-effective manner, which is always important, but it's going to be a project that outlives us all, and it's going to be used for, you know, many decades. And I appreciate everybody. You know, these pretty pictures and these floor plans look real simple this morning. It took a lot to get to this point, I will just tell you. And so
Design development is a heavy duty.
It really took a lot, and we're not done. We're not done. We still got decisions to make. But the commission. Does anyone have any comments before Commissioner Falconer makes a motion? Go ahead.
Commissioner, I have a question. What is the timeline on beginning and ending?
Great question.
So on your, you have a little cost estimate, and then at the bottom, you'll see just some project milestones.
Okay.
So we essentially look to have all of this pre-planning done by this summer in June, and then we will actually start construction this summer.
Okay.
And then essentially the completion of that would be late summer, early fall of 2027.
Thank you.
So
We're working in an expedited mindset.
That's right. So it's not that far off.
No, it's
Not that far off. We're excited, and I want to just reiterate again, mainly for the public, that that we are saving over. If we were to build this building and buy the property, we've got 23 acres, and we said 800 parking spaces, and a 5-story building that is beautiful, and will feel like a great judicial building. And we are saving not just a few million, we are saving tens of millions of dollars. It would be, your budget sheet would look very different if we were building this new, way more. So I'm just proud of that. I know that this court is always very careful with our taxpayer dollars, and this is a good example. It's a need. This is not something we just want to do. We have judges right now who are in temporary spaces, and one who's having to push a cart around because he doesn't. So it's a need. This is not a want, but something that we're doing will be a long-term investment, and one that's good. We're not cheaping out where it's going to fall apart. It's going to be a high-quality project, but it's going to save a lot of money.
And I want to highlight some true, I would call heroes in this whole process, because of the sequencing of how do we shuffle around the judges to expand capacity on an interim basis, not a
Yeah.
permanent basis, but an interim basis to, so that the judicial process that are operating are done in a respectful way, in an appropriate way, and that is our Denton County Facilities Department. Dell, your team has done an excellent job creating that temporary space over there at the Moore Street building. I know Commissioner Falconer was over there last week, admiring it. Commissioner Mitchell and I were over there yesterday, doing a quick walkthrough, and we're able to personally thank the team in-house that was able to do that. Y'all built courtrooms over there for the probate courts before, over a Christmas holiday. Y'all cranked out that construction internally, which saved us a year in planning, right, Jody? Probably a year in planning and bidding out plans and everything. Like, y'all were able to totally build that in a efficient manner, in a cost-effective way. And to do this latest one for Judge Johnson is just really exceptional. And I want to publicly thank y'all as well as personally. If you want to add anything. So anyway, I want to thank y'all. That was critical to give us some breathing room as we worked on this to get some of the judges all placed. So anyway, thank you, Dell, and all the guys that are busy working and not watching the meeting. Thank you. So anyway, Carlos, do you have anything else to add? Any other questions? All right, Commissioner Falconer, do you want to make a motion?
Yes, I move approval of item 13C, that we can move to the next stage.
Second, okay, well, go right ahead. The chair will second. Any other comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're going
Thank
to
you,
take a
everybody.
5-minute
Thank you.
recess. We'll take a 5-minute recess. It's 10:15. We've reconvened from executives, from our recess, not executive session, from our recess. I appreciate everybody still being with us. Let's go to item 2, our consent agenda. Members, are there any items you'd like to pull off the consent agenda, or do we have a motion for approval as presented?
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Today, our consent agenda consists of item 2A, approval of the order making appointments. Item 2B is approval of payroll. Next, let's go to item 3A, approval of resolution recognizing Jim Borsch's retirement. And I'm sorry that he's not with us today, but I'll go ahead and read this. We do appreciate his many years of service. This is a resolution honoring Jim Borsch for 12 years of dedicated service to Denton County. The Denton County Commissioners Court, Denton County, Texas, during a regular session on the 10th day of February 2026, considered the following resolution. Whereas Jim Borsch has been a loyal employee of the Denton County Road and Bridge West, now known as Denton County Department of Transportation and Engineering, and will retire on February the 12th, 2026, after 12 years of dedicated service. And whereas Jim was hired as a mechanic welder in 2014, promoted to diesel mechanic and lead mechanic in 2015, and later promoted to mechanic foreman in 2022, where he has completed his career. Whereas Jim consistently provided a high level of quality and valuable service to the Department of Transportation and Engineering and to the residents of Denton County, earning the respect of all who worked with him. His attention to detail, extensive equipment and mechanical knowledge, and overall department expertise was second to none. Jim was always willing to help where needed and could always be counted on to get the job done. And whereas Jim's dedication to assisting his coworkers was greatly appreciated and respected by his colleagues, and his presence will be deeply missed. Whereas the Department of Transportation and Engineering wishes to thank Jim for his commitment and hard work throughout his career, and we wish him well in his retirement. We are confident Jim will enjoy retirement, one Sudoku puzzle at a time. His next chapter includes plenty of reading, traveling to new places, and savoring mornings with no alarm clock in sight. I suggest you set it so you can turn it off. I think that's even more joy.
Yeah.
We hope Jim will not forget his work family at the Department of Transportation and Engineering and look forward to hearing about his many retirement adventures ahead. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Denton County Commissioners Court, Denton County, Texas, does hereby extend to Jim Borsch our sincere and grateful appreciation for his dedicated service to Denton County. We congratulate Jim on his well-earned retirement and extend our best wishes to him for continued success, happiness, and good health in the years to come. Done in open court this is the 10th day of February 2026 upon a motion made by the chair, second by Commissioner Edmondson. And Jim, I just want to say you were, when I was a commissioner out in Road and Bridge, in Precinct 4, and worked daily with Road and Bridge West, you were just always such a great gentleman and a consummate professional. I appreciate your many years here at the county, and I wish you all the best in your retirement. Anyone else want to say anything?
Happy retirement.
Yeah.
Happy retirement. Happy retirement. All right, here, no other comments. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, I need to get Frank Phillips. Frank is back here patiently waiting. Let me find Frank's item. Let's go to 13B. 13B is approval of 1, the notice of election for the March 3rd, 2026 primary election Democratic Party, and 2, the notice of election for the March 3rd, 2026 primary election Republican Party, and any appropriate action. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioner.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. So you have before you the 2 notices, one for the Republican Party, one for the Democratic Party, for the primary election. They both contain our 55 early voting sites. You may notice that they don't mirror each other. So the Republicans have 78 election day sites. Democrats have 68. So that's an important reminder to our citizens. Please check our website for your election day polling site if you're going to vote on election day, because they're not necessarily the same depending on your party. But other than that, once you approve it, it'll be posted on our website today.
Thank you, Frank. Any
Thanks.
questions regarding this? Do we have a motion for approval?
I'll move.
Second.
by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Unanimous. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
All right.
Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I point out one little hiccup?
Yes.
That there's nothing we can do about it, but out at
Do we need to
Robeson-
grab Frank before he leaves the building?
Oh, he already knows, but
He knows about it.
Okay, go right ahead.
at Robeson, we have one little hiccup. We were unable to have the same site for both the early voting and election day voting, and so they're having to move us around. And we're trying to make everybody aware of it as much as possible. It's just different than what we're used to. So it could be that there are other spots like that, so people need to be really careful when you're going to vote. Make sure if you go to the right primary and the right location on election day, it's very, very important.
Thank you. Let's go to item 3C, which is approval of a resolution honoring Pastor Kenneth Wells and any appropriate action. I have a great proclamation here, and thank you, Commissioner Mitchell, for pulling this together. This is a resolution honoring Pastor Kenneth Wells for 45 years of faithful service as a pastor of Northview Baptist Church. Whereas Pastor Kenneth Wells is a fourth-generation Louisville resident whose family roots in the community date back to the late 19th century, reflecting a long-standing legacy of service to Louisville and Denton County. Whereas Pastor Wells, the son of Douglas and Louise Bowery Wells, and a graduate of Louisville High School class of 1975, answered a calling to ministry that would guide a lifetime of service. And whereas Pastor Wells pursued theological education at Arlington Baptist College, Criswell Bible College, and Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, equipping him for decades of pastoral leadership. Whereas Pastor Wells has faithfully served as senior pastor of Northview Baptist Church for 45 years, beginning his ministry when church membership totaled just 22 individuals and leading the church through substantial spiritual growth and expanded outreach. Whereas under Pastor Wells' leadership, Northview Baptist Church expanded its campus and ministries, including the construction of a 570-seat sanctuary, a 24,000 square foot educational and life center, and the establishment of the Heart of the City ministry, providing food and clothing assistance to those in need. Whereas Pastor Wells has served with distinction as chaplain to the City of Louisville police and fire departments in Medical City, Louisville, offering compassionate support to first responders, medical professionals, and families during times of crisis. Whereas Pastor Wells loves what he is called to do and strives to be a motivator and seeks to encourage and enable church members to use their gifts and talents in serving the Lord throughout the ministries and programs of the church. Whereas Pastor Kenneth Wells believes in God, family, and community, and believes the church must actively pursue the lost through visitation, outreach, and day-to-day living by our testimonies. Whereas Pastor Wells and his wife Teresa Chapman Wells have raised 3 children, J.D., Heath, and Emily, continuing a family legacy of faith, service, and community involvement. Whereas Pastor Kenneth Wells' 45 years of ministry reflect exceptional leadership, devotion, and a lasting impact on the spiritual and civic life of Denton County. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Denton County Commissioners Court hereby recognizes and honors Pastor Kenneth Wells for 45 years of faithful service and expresses its sincere appreciation for his enduring contributions to our community, done in open court this the 10th day of February 2026 upon a motion made by
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by the chair. Well, Pastor, I have known you for all these many decades and consider you a friend, not only to me personally, but the Eads family. My parents attend Northview, and he's such a friend to the county and to me during many difficult times here at the county. Some of our dark hours, Pastor Wells was there as a source of encouragement to me, as I know he's done so many families, and especially those wearing the uniform. And on behalf of all those family members over the many decades he's been a chaplain, so I want to just publicly thank you for doing that. Not all pastors do that, But not only do you shepherd your own flock, but you shepherd a much larger flock than just within the four walls of Northview Baptist Church, where you've been for 45 years. So thank you so much, Commissioner.
Pastor Wells is not here with us today, but I will be reading this proclamation on Sunday morning, this coming Sunday morning. About 5 years ago, the judge and I were there reading another proclamation. Pastor Wells, I call him Pastor Wells, Brother Ken, Brother Wells. He's just been a great asset to the Louisville, Denton County community, the police and fire and hospital chaplain. He's always helping us. He's always helping someone. He's been a great, like I said, asset to the community. I love him and I appreciate him. He's going to be retiring also, but I welcome anyone to come out on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock to the anniversary service, and I promise you, you will have a great time. The last time we were there, the music was so great and the message was so great. I told Andrew I'm gonna have to slip off more from Grapevine, Love Chapel, and
Come back for more.
and come back for more. And Lord and behold, I get to come again. And so, thank you, Pastor Wells. I know you're probably listening. I appreciate you. And Lord's will, I will see you on Sunday at 10 o'clock. Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, any other comments? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 5A, approval of the bill report. Payments from CSCD, Community Corrections, TAIP, Sheriff's Training, Sheriff's Forfeiture, VIT interest, and DA forfeiture funds are presented for recording purposes only. Mr. May.
Thank you, Judge. I have no changes today. Recommend approval as presented.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6A, approval of acknowledgement of notification of acquisition and vendor name change of Johnson Controls to Johnson Controls Building Solutions LLC, and any appropriate action.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6B, approval of purchase of a Gurkha MPV armored vehicle from Teradyne Armored Vehicles in the amount of $377,718 through the Florida Sheriff's Association Cooperative Purchasing Contract, FSA 25VEH23.0, heavy trucks and buses, and any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6C, approval of renewal of ITB 252844 lubricants and oils to Southwest Distributing Company.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6D, approval to procure consulting services for a comprehensive review of all Workday SKUs, including identification of configuration gaps, optimization opportunities, and prioritized recommendations aligned with enterprise resource planning, the ERP, best practices through Carasoft Technology Corporation in an amount not to exceed $210,800 under Texas DIR Cooperative Contract DIR CPO 5175. Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 6E, approval of the evaluation committee's recommendation to rank BRW Architects as most qualified firm for RFSQ 252888 for design services for fire station and fire administration building. Any appropriate action?
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer. The chair was second. Commissioner Edmondson was second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7A, report for miscellaneous equipment and software services presented for recording purposes only. Next is 7B, approval of budget amendment request 2026147 for death investigations and medical examiner services to transfer $29,728 from county vehicles unappropriated contingency to death investigations and medical examiner services vehicles to fund the purchase of a replacement vehicle, a 2026 Chevrolet Equinox, as recommended by the Vehicle Assessment Committee.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7C, approval of budget amendment request 2026149 for the Sheriff's Office to transfer $7,000 from unappropriated contingency to law enforcement dog within judicial purchases to cover additional costs for a law enforcement K-9.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 8A, a report from Human Resource regarding hiring action of elected officials. This is presented for recording purposes only. Gustavo?
Judge, Commissioners, good morning. We have 2 new hires in adult probation, 1 lateral transfer in juvenile probation, 1 rehire in juvenile probation, 2 new hires in the sheriff's office. One of them is a detention officer 1. 1 promotion in the sheriff's office is a detention officer 2. So we are losing a detention officer 1 to be moved to the detention officer 2. And then we have a rehire in the sheriff's office. That's it for this week.
Perfect, thank you. That is presented for recording purposes only. Next is 9A, approval of the Texas Department of Health and Human Services STD HIV/DIS Prevention Services Grant Program Amendment Number 7. This is contract number HHS 001120300009 in the amount of $126,662. This provides us certain attachments and extends the contract term through November the 30th, 2026.
Move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 10A, approval of the corporal addition final plat. This is lots 1 and 2, Block A. This is 10.264 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 1.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 13A, approval of the First Amendment to the Chapter 381 Tax Incentive Agreement among Denton County, Texas, and Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., and DDI Louisville LLC, formerly known as Digital Louisville LLC, as recommended by the Denton County Economic Development Department and the Denton County Commissioner Precinct Number 3, and any appropriate action.
I move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? I just want to give a big shout out to Rena Maloney. Thank you for all the great work you're doing. We were in a meeting yesterday, and she always makes me proud. But we were going through a business discussion with some guests of the office about expanding our economic development reach even further. And I just wanted to thank you for always doing such a great job. And you're really exceptional. And thank you for your work on this. Do we have a motion and a second? Any other comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, let's go to 14A, approval of appointment of the Honorable Chance Oliver, County Criminal Court Number 4, as the county court's representative on the Denton County Bail Bond Board, replacing Honorable Laurie Ragland, County Criminal Court Number 1, effective February the 10th, 2026. By Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, let's go to item 17, community updates. We'll start with Commissioner Precinct 1. Go ahead, Commissioner
Thank you,
Williams.
Judge. Congratulations to the City of Sanger for receiving the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for its 2025-2026 annual budget. This is the 9th consecutive year they've received this award, so that's pretty impressive. Good for them. The other thing is, want to remind everybody tomorrow night, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., I'm going to be hosting a tax education for citizen engagement, and that'll be at the Copeland Government Center. So please come out and learn a little bit more about how your taxes are figured, especially when it comes to property tax. I know that's what everybody's really concerned about, and come out and get some good education. That's all I've got, Judge.
Perfect, thank you. All right, Commissioner Falconer.
Thanks, Judge. So I want to congratulate the City of Carrollton for their public library receiving an award. They were recognized as a family place library. That's one that welcomes and nurtures children in early stages. That's a good thing. And then I have several events happening. In Carrollton, MetroCrest Services is hosting a Pathways to Success job fair. That's going to be tomorrow on the 11th, 3 to 5 at MetroCrest Services in Josie Lane in Carrollton. And then we also have in Carrollton plant people with DCMG. This is the Master Gardeners, Elm Fork chapter, Master Naturalists too, working with 4-H to learn about plants, and that'll be at the Hebron and Josie Library on the 14th. That's Valentine's. So you can take your Valentine there before you take them out to dinner.
Learn how to plant roses, maybe.
There you go. Maybe how to plant roses. 2 to 3 p.m. at the Hebron Josie. Then there's the annual, which is always fun, the Daddy-Daughter Dance. That will be the 21st from 6 to 9 at Bentry Church. And that's always a great thing that the Carrollton Police Officers Association presents that every year. And then this one's good too, at the Josie Ranch Library on the 22nd from 2 to 3. There's going to be a talk about Artemis II. It's by Les Murray, who's a NASA ambassador, and they're going to talk about the whole flight plan and objectives. I think I'm going to go to that. I'm a geek. And then in the Colony, we have Food Blessing, which is at Friendship Baptist Church on the 21st from 10 to noon. And that's for anyone who's in need with food. They are taking care of that at the Food Blessing at the Colony. And that's all I have.
Perfect. Commissioner Mitchell?
In Flower Mound, we have the Louisville Lake Symphony, Peter and the Wolf on February 21st, 3 p.m. at Lamb of God Lutheran Church. In Holland Village, we're going to have the Daddy-Daughter Dance, and I think we're having those all over the communities on February 20th, 6:30 p.m. at 9 p.m. at the Hilton Garden Inn. We're still having the State Benefits Assistant with Tarrant Area Food Bank, February the 11th at 10:30 to 1:30 at the library in Louisville. We're going to have a second Saturday bird walk, February 14th, 7:03 a.m. Oh my gosh, that's early, to 11:30 a.m. Well, I won't be attending that. Then we're going to have a Thrive Nature Walk on February 15th after you've taken your wife out to dinner and your spouse out or your husband out to dinner. Then you can go and walk it off at Thrive Natural Park on February 15th, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Have fun. Kevin?
Yes, I will do it.
Okay.
Perfect.
I don't know if Susan will, though.
All right, Commissioner Mitchell?
Well, I think she just did hers.
Yes.
She's Edmondson.
This is Commissioner Edmondson.
Yeah, the one on the end is Edmondson.
May I go next year?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Sorry, we're giving you a hard time.
We're eager to hear.
Yeah. Well, we have a college and career fair coming up the 21st from 10 to 1 at the MLK Center. And this is a great opportunity to connect with a wide range of employers, colleges, and community organizations for our young people. So come learn more about this in one convenient location. Then also on that same date at the Emily Fowler Central Library, local historian Robin Cole is doing a program to explore the history of Denton County's African-American schools and communities. And this last one, oh, I'm so excited about this. Argyle High School is going to state. They earned gold awards in District 4 skills for their bakery and pastry, and then for their restaurant service. So they've got 4 people going to state representing bakery and pastry, which I don't see any samples of that here today, and I'm very disappointed, but also in restaurant service. So we're proud of those folks, and next time, bring us some samples. We'd love to see what you won. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I just want to remind everybody that early voting begins next week on Tuesday, February the 17th at multiple locations across Denton County. And early voting continues through Friday the 27th. And I want to check, you can check votedenton.gov to find times and places where you can cast your vote in the primary election. I would like to just remind everybody that in observance of President's Day, Denton County offices will be closed on Monday, February the 16th, and they will reopen on Tuesday, the 17th at 8 a.m., and we will not have Commissioners Court that day, but we will reconvene on Tuesday, the 24th. I do want to, again, publicly remind everybody that if you want to go check out our White House exhibit that's currently running at the courthouse on the square, go by and check that out. It's about the Bush White House decorated at Christmas, and it's really some neat artifacts from the Bush presidential library down on the SMU campus, and so they loaned that to us. It's going to be up through President's Day, so this is your last week to get to enjoy that. So anyway, it's really neat, and the Commissioners Court really appreciates. And we had a great lunch with their staff and the archivists from the National Archives, and they did a great job of loaning that to us. So come check it out. Let's go to executive session. We'll go to item 15A, Texas Government Code 551072, deliberation regarding real property. Closed meeting, deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. If deliberation in an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the governmental body in negotiations with a third person. 15B is Texas Government Code 551071-1B, consultates with attorney in closed meeting when the governmental body seeks the advice of his attorney about a settlement offer regarding cause number 242705481, styled Denton County, Texas versus the O'Haver Company, LTD, currently pending in the 481st Judicial District Court in Denton County, Texas. And 15C, Texas Government Code 551074A1, personnel matters. Closed meeting to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee with the Denton County Fire Marshal and any appropriate action. And it is 10:41, and we are in executive session.